Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Take a sip as soon as the audio starts.
I'm ready.
You are.
I'm ready to hold it steady.
You really you tried to start this podcast on a gotcha note.
No, I was throwing it with energy.
No,
that was
you
good
didn't.
energy.
So let me just...
We were dancing.
Feeney...
We were dancing.
This is why I'm considering having a second child, is because of you and what you've become.
What way?
You only
I inspired
child.
you to have another child?
To have another child. Yes, you have.
Thank you.
Actually, you could put it that way. Or my headphones aren't working.
Feeney, are you an only child?
Yeah.
Me
I
too.
know. Thank you, Alex. There's a lot of us out there, right?
I feel like I never meet people who are only children.
Yeah.
You don't. They usually don't have to talk about it as much as people with siblings. It's like people that go to CrossFit.
Well,
some people go to gyms and don't have to talk about it.
The thing about Feeney is his whole life, or you feel like very cousin energy because we're teammates.
Yeah.
But you see me as a victim, or not, or you see me as a target. You want to get me, so that's
But
how
that's
this
you
show.
seeing yourself as a victim.
No. I am reacting. I'm gonna sit up tall for this. I'm reacting to just little games, little things you do to throw me off kilter and to get me going in a way that I'm trying to avoid. You know what I mean?
No, we're having a fun one.
I know, but
we're in
look
a fun
through a
loving
saucer
mood,
at me.
you know?
I grabbed it, and you didn't expect
We were
that.
yes, I hoped you did. We were both dancing. I threw the thing to you. You grabbed it, threw it back over here. We had a good fun toss.
You're
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast, a storytelling podcast. You moving your seat up? I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined with me, as always,
by Mike Cannon. Yeah, I'm not going to allow myself to be like a 90s Letterman guest to you, where I'm sitting 4 feet below you.
You can't even tell on these cameras. That's what's hilarious.
What?
On the camera, there's no shot of, like, both of us. Is there, Alex? A shot
There's
of
sometimes... Sometimes this podcast, and I don't know if Alex sets it up like this intentionally, you give me a moment, but there's times where it looks like I'm what's his name? God damn it, you're JFK and I'm what's his tits, and I'm not a crook. You know that debate where
Nixon?
he looks just
Ross
like
Nixon?
Yeah, he's got like his fucking 5 o'clock shadow, and he's like sweating out the whiskey from the night before, his tie's crooked, and then JFK has like this beautiful angelic lighting to him, and he's this Irish Catholic boy just delivering the most charming message to America. That's how Alex frames us.
I'm just...
You definitely have the frosted hair.
Feeney's camera looks amazing, and I can't explain it, but it's bothering me.
Oh yeah, my face messes with the technology.
He's so...
It throws it. 4K is perfect on everybody, but my face is somehow the ring. And it just portals in the middle, and you can't see a single detail.
It downgrades to 720. Just it's like we're doing this for you,
for all of us.
That's how advanced the technology is. It knows what's superior and what we can handle. So we're having a good time, though. Everyone should sit. Alex,
I can't frame you with the table in the shot like Mike has it, because it would have to be like...
Look how zoom out as much as you to show how my waist is up here, and I.
Yeah. Why is the table? Is that how crooked this floor is? Like, are you sitting on a slant?
It goes up higher.
He has
It goes
his
up
chair
higher.
all the way up.
That's it. I'm raising my fucking chair.
Look how crazy this is.
Do I look better?
Yeah.
You guys look like giraffes.
Raise up my camera.
Let's descend on 3. It'll be a fun GIF for the internet. You
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3. Oh man, that paid off in no way.
All-time letdown. All time of my life in 35 years.
The audio people got nothing for the last while.
Not even a laugh out of either of us. So we didn't lie to people that couldn't see it.
Yeah, well, we also didn't explain it so that they could see it.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know.
Stop praising the chair. I get you guys in the frame.
This is fun. This is our first time back in studio since recording our 200th Power Hour.
Yeah, we're on the back
200th Power Hour.
We're on the back 9 now, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a whole new decade or century, I guess I should say. And we kicked it off right with Jeremiah last week, and now we're just fucking back to basics, baby.
Could you imagine if we made this podcast just a Power Hour podcast, because it's so successful. People love those episodes.
Yeah.
But imagine weekly doing a Power Hour. That's just, you set aside, you're like, gotta go to work, honey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I 100% would do that. I think I could.
Would?
I think it would be kind of a nightmare. But after that last one, which, now we're kind of out of order here because this is going to come out later. We're doing 2 episodes.
That's fine.
Thanksgiving. So
we like to piece things together. I'm sure this will land on Thanksgiving morning. So
it does air on Thanksgiving during dinner at 6 p.m.
Happy
sharp.
Thanksgiving,
Perfect. Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
I am glad that you took time away from the. Well, no one's with their family this season anyway.
That's right. Yeah, you guys aren't killing grandma, so maybe everybody's just fucking tuned in.
Maybe they need to. This is escapism.
We should have had a spread. We should have figured
done
out
a lot of things.
We should have thought about this.
Yeah. We could tell.
Somebody. Oh, we just did Anne Heche's podcast, Alex, and she asked us maybe the most ridiculously transparent, quite it was just easy, where she's like, oh, have you guys done special St. Patrick's Day episodes? And we're like, no. As a matter of fact, we never have.
I've drank Guinness. I drank on St. Patrick's Day when we did it.
What's special?
I was having Guinness. Guinness is what's special about it. I don't normally drink Guinness.
Fair enough. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, we should have, for St. Patrick's Day, we should have one of the little people comedians just be our guest. So we're not having them dress up as a leprechaun. They're just there as our guest, but we're doing it to pay homage to St. Patrick's Day.
All right, text one of them.
I don't know them.
Oh, who's them?
I know two.
But wait a sec. We should revisit this, though, because I do think that there is something to be said about if you could do what you did every single week as well, though.
Oh, no. I mean, if the fluid in my spinal cord goes backwards once a week for the rest of my life, there's going to be a gigantic abyss in my frontal lobe. It's going to be a fucking sinkhole, baby.
Yeah, it's because
I love how I got so many DMs and all the people just being like, hey man, you were quiet for the last 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, guess when the fun shut off.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the last couple times I've done that particular thing, Molly, who cares? Why I don't know why I've acted like I don't talk about this regularly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ever try to clean up your image over the course of a week?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough.
Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Oh, cool.
You said it. I don't
Glad
know.
to have support from friends.
I don't know why you
yes.
did it. We agreed. I just meant I thought you were protecting you said something about protecting your child. That's why I was like, oh, I'll just go with it.
It's not like I got home and then licked his face. I didn't stand over his crib and just pet his stuffed animal as he slept.
Smell his head though a little more.
Oh, buddy, if you think I didn't do nothing, out of your mind.
I've been feeling randomly guilty about how much I admit to my drug use, but I don't see the use in it because I've already fully admitted to it, so I don't see it. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, at this point, the case has been made.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I had a great time. I mean, I asked for a soft blanket. Nobody delivered that during the podcast. I really wish I could have cloaked myself in something because I think that would have maybe extended the good time. But I was really enjoying both Jay and Brendan getting cut off all the time.
Me screaming?
By you screaming, by Jay.
Jay cutting off
and
Brendan,
then by me. Because when Brendan finally cleared his space and was like, I've been trying to get this out for an hour, I just stomped on that flame as quickly as possible.
Yes.
But then right after we stopped recording, and I'm talking about right after we did the ads, which you were a treat for. Because you're like, I've never felt so good. Just so, I mean, it was great. I've never seen
I had a good drunk.
You were a pleasure to be around. I've never had that.
Well, unfortunately, I felt that way. I felt that way as it was happening. But then, listening back to parts of the podcast, I was like, oh, those last two. I thought I was being like, here's a fun line to say, but it's just a mean screaming thing. You're like, oh, I feel like people were like, why are you so mean to Brendan throughout the end of it? And I was like, it wasn't mean. It was surly. All right,
It was surly with
and it was 100 beers in.
Yeah,
100
doused.
shots of beer.
It was surly doused with gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. but yeah. So thank you to the new people who are on board. Which again, we're telling this all out of order. We should have talked about this last week.
That's
last
fine.
week's episode. But yeah, that's if that's what the people want, I'll do it every week until we die.
I'll do edibles. I would do edibles for the rest of my life. I just did a.
You've done that for 200 episodes. What are you
that's
talking
true.
about?
Well, I just took a little nibble because Alex broke down math that I got wrong for the last 6 months. So
Yeah.
I've been getting these edibles, and it's 5 of them in a pouch, 450 milligrams. I'm like, perfect. They're 50 milligrams each.
Yeah,
And I've just been eating them, and they've been 90 this whole time. And this whole time I've been like, am I a pussy? What's going on? What's with my tolerance? And I'm just rocketing past 50. directly to
Yeah,
90.
my God.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
So, but then you took a nibble of one. I still don't understand how they work. If you take
You don't understand how edibles work?
No, but the dosage, not fully. No, I don't. Do you all fully?
Yes, I do.
So if you
They soak into your cannabinoids, and
no,
when
not
in
that,
your bloodstream,
not that. I won't.
it's
I
actually
refuse to
50
let you
times
do
more
this.
potent
I'm
as
not
a
gonna. I'm gonna
smokable.
talk right through.
I learned that from a Joe Rogan special.
But what I'm saying is, if you have a 50 milligram edible in your hand, if I take half of it, am I still eating 50 milligrams worth, but it's just a smaller amount? Or is it I have to eat the whole thing for it to be 50 milligrams?
Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I just
Is that 25 if I bite off? Or is the whole thing 50 milligrams strong? It'd be like if you had a bun cake soaked with vodka, and you're like, if I bite into it, I'm still getting vodka, I'm just not getting as much vodka, versus if it's only vodka in one side of the bun cake.
Right. But you have to trick yourself because there's no way to know how the THC is displaced in the candy or baked good. The only thing you can do is try to trick yourself and make sure and think of it as a grid, and then just be as accurate as you can to that. But there's a possibility that I just bit a corner that's 90 milligrams
That's what I'm
of
saying.
THC. Yeah, who knows?
I think that
we'll find out
I think with
today.
these, they're probably pretty well distributed because it seems like an actual somebody who knows how to make candy is making
Right.
them. It's being heated and really mixed well. I think cutting it in half is going to be just about
But
half the dose.
Even for you guys, though, when you take an edible, if you take a 50 milligram edible at home and you're like, I only want to take 25 milligrams, do you bite half off thinking that's what that is? Or
Yeah.
do you go, I'm biting just a smaller amount of a 50 milligram
No,
edible?
this is what I do. I take the whole thing and then wait for it to come down to 50. So I just weather the storm for about 2 hours.
like you're
and then,
blasting into space.
and then finally I'm just like,
finally you're in
"Oh,
the weightless
snowstorm."
orbit.
The snowstorm is cleared. I feel alive.
Yeah. The weightless orbit of the fucking thing.
That's honestly what I've kind of been doing. I mean, I talked about this on our other pod, but I've been watching, Nicole and I have been going through all Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, edibles have been just rampant. I also just got these edibles that somehow suck. I don't know what happened. I've gotten them in the past, and they're supposed to be 30 milligram candies. They're supposedly from a reputable source. I take one of them, nothing, two of them, nothing, three of them, nothing, and I'm just full of candy, and my face is fatter. But
it's delicious candy, isn't it?
I mean, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's not candy I would pick out of the aisle.
What's the best candy? Reese's peanut butter cup edible would be pretty great.
That would be unbelievable. I told Nicole this and she almost divorced me, but my go-to movie snack is Raisinets.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Alex, camera on your face, please.
No.
What?
Why?
Because it's chocolate and raisins, and I like
But
that
that's the
combination.
second part.
No. It's the cookie dough. You put cookie dough bites inside of popcorn. That's the answer.
Oh, that's an interesting move. But what's inside the cookie dough bites, or is it all pure cookie dough?
It's cookie
that's
dough.
That red box one? That's shit cookie dough, though.
It's cookie dough with a little bit of chocolate around the outside.
Okay.
See, I don't do that. I get my
yeah.
chocolate and Raisinets, and then I get Sour Patch Extreme, because the new Sour Patch that are regular are bullshit, dummy-down sour, so they're not even sour, they're more sweet.
Yeah.
The Extreme are the only, they're basically the same as the old school Sour Patch, and you get that, and that you dump in the motherfucking popcorn to complement the Raisinets and the blue icy. Thank you. Maybe chicken fingers, curly fries, whatever. Depends how much you want to spend. I have spent $175 at the movie theater before, just because I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm here. I think
I
think it was
want
during
popcorn. That's
what's
it.
that
Popcorn
rock
and
movie?
once in a while a slushie.
What's the rock movie
Rock
where
of
he
Ages?
has no? Yes, no, where the rock
School of
had
Rock.
no leg, and it's
The
Skyscraper.
Rock. Yeah.
He had that movie. I think I spent $175 in the movie theater. It was like an Alamo Draft House that I was in San Antonio for.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't Alamo Draft House down there, but it was something else. And I just
Why?
watched because the Alamo is the other thing.
What do you mean?
They don't have an Alamo Draft House.
But they in Texas?
Yeah, in San Antonio,
No, don't they have them all across America? All called Alamo.
but not
Draft
in San. Yeah, but not in San Antonio.
Okay. Alex, look up if there's one in San Antonio.
Don't you dare.
Any place they should be more in Texas.
I mean, it makes the most sense,
Yeah,
which
Texas
is why I took
Roadhouse.
such a hard line on it. But you decided to fucking wiki check me.
Frost Nixon. There could never be one in San Antonio.
Yeah, they would never desecrate the name of the Alamo that way. They couldn't name a draft house out of it. Is it? There's a million of them.
There's at least 3.
At least 3. It's such a small city.
So that
You can come here to get informed if you want.
yeah, but don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know those, and I like those Alamo Draft Houses too. It's something about eating like a full meal in the dark while watching a movie. I'm too interested in the movie. That's why I need a food that I don't have to be looking at while I eat it. So that's why popcorn's the move, because it's just
Right.
shovel, shovel, shovel. And then based on the movie, like when I went and saw Parasite in the theater, or like the Joker in the theater, I was, because of the like uncomfortable adrenaline, I was just stress eating the popcorn. You can see me eating faster in some parts of movies. I'm like never stopping and everything. And then you get other movies where you can just kind of put it down for a while, go back to it. But if I'm having chicken tenders and fries, now I got to dip in things, and we got. No, it's too much.
I can't do popcorn anymore for the oldest reason in America is I can't stand buttery fingers. In the movies, I used to have like pussy on my fingers and then smash it into a fucking cup of popcorn. I just lost all momentum, and you didn't look like fun, so I just bailed. I bailed on the whole story. I was like, I had more to this, but that's all.
You were never going to convince me that it wasn't worth eating popcorn for, because you don't like buttery hands.
I really don't. I always run out of napkins. I'm a fucking baby.
You
I
always
can't
bring
deal with
extra
it.
napkins to wipe them off, or you even
Oh,
get.
well,
or you
in
get
what?
a-
In how?
What?
In the years
In
that
what?
you've known me. In the years that you've known me. When do I seem like a guy who'd bring extra napkins anywhere?
Well, you get the napkins when you're at the line for the popcorn.
I'll never get up. I'll piss in my chair. I'll never get up.
Oh, because you order it delivered to you.
Yeah.
Oh, then you can type in extra napkins.
Oh.
Or any napkins. Regardless, that is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but I hope do you have any Thanksgiving stories?
What do you mean?
I'll say what I mean.
Yes,
to
I
stall.
do. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So,
Hold on,
I mean, like,
say it again slower while I go through my memories.
Is there a certain story that you remember around this holiday season? Let's call it Thanksgiving, since it is premiering today on Gas Digital and YouTube. What kind of Thanksgivings do you remember? The ones that particularly stuck out to you?
Strenuous ones. There's, I mean, everyone had some sort of like family yearly break. Like there was some fractured relationship that was going to probably bleed into the next summer before somebody apologized. You know what I mean? And there was a time when I'm just like re-finding out about this because my family only just started talking. So there were like Thanksgivings that I have completely melted out of my memory. I don't remember. But our aunts and other cousins, they weren't really participating socially. So we, the Cannons, we were kind of like the life of the party. We came in and we were fun and we were telling stories and doing whatever. That my sisters are musical geniuses. They're singing for everybody. I'm probably falling down the stairs, doing some whatever. It's but my sister told me that there was this one Thanksgiving when I was like maybe 13 or 14, and my sister was like going into college, and she's really, really good at music. Chloe is super young, and she's really good at music, and we're all just like running the dinner table, and my grandmother just like slapped the table and goes, "Enough with the cannons."
Jesus Christ. And did you guys all just...
Yeah, of course. We were like, all right, here, go ahead.
Yeah.
You hold court.
Yeah.
Run it back. Let's see how the conversation flows. We all stayed quiet, and it was the most miserable dinner of all time. Everybody sat there like a fucking mortuary, and it's just like, there was like, at the point, I think at a point where like right before our whole family broke up, I was probably like 18 and really political. You decide that that's what I'm going to do. I used to like, this is so crazy, but I used to help all my teammates study. Mm-hmm. So I used to have like a study class for all my college basketball teammates. And then because of the election, and that was the first one we were all going to vote in, I also like held political discussion. So we all discussed political issues, and that like affected them.
That's never ruined every family meal together.
Oh, that's not a family meal. I'm talking. This is with my teammates.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm painting the picture for how politically involved that I was, and and I obviously had a different perspective than a lot of my family and the people that I knew, because the majority of my teammates were like really low income black kids that lived a completely different life than me.
Right.
So we would, of course, get into like volatile political arguments at the table. And I think something like that happened where it wasn't even contentious. It was just a disagreement and another like slam. Enough. This is fucking it. We're not, everybody be quiet. Who else? What's school like? One of my other cousins who was just shivering, not knowing what to say.
Oh my God.
And it was like, all right, I think this has run its course. I think this combination of family members has officially dried up.
Dude, I'm like, I think it's because of a couple factors where I think I have both of my sides of my family are like pretty small. So there's not a lot of like, I mean, like, my dad has multiple brothers and a sister and stuff like that. But for the most part, we're like a pretty small family on both sides. So it was all pretty immediate family. And there was never like, I don't remember anything. But also, I was the youngest, I think, on both sides for a long time. So when you're growing up around that, you're in your own world. Like there could have been family strifes that I just wasn't, I was too aloof to pay attention to.
You were absorbing them, just not consciously.
Yeah.
They were definitely hooking themselves to your soul and giving you purpose later.
Yeah.
But at that point, you were oblivious.
But I was having a good time, man. But Mike, let's take a moment to talk about another awesome sponsor of Irish Goodbye Podcast.
Who? Omigo. You're going to need them after this hot, spicy Thai food you're about to ingest. They're a modern bidet brand, changing your whole bathroom experience.
Washing, here's the thing. It's just better than wiping. I don't know how we as a society, I guess it's because we didn't have access to the rushing reverse osmosis water going up our ass for a long time. So
we were late to irrigation.
Yeah, so we had to settle for paper. But the more I think about it, the more
we're animals.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet even cavemen would like
leaves.
Leaves for sure. But I actually think that's too Neanderthal-y for a caveman. Like I bet they just like stood at the bottom of a waterfall and literally Ace Ventura spread their cracks and just took a natural waterfall enema to their assholes, and that's how the Omigo bidet was originally invented.
I mean, I think that's their credo on their website. But these aren't your old school bidets. They attach already right to your toilet. Super easy.
Yep. No need to call a plumber. It's a DIY install and takes about 15 minutes. If a lady like me who's afraid of chipping his pinky is able to figure it out, guys, you can too.
Fresh water just cleans better. That's why you need to check out Omigo. It's a total game changer.
They have a bidet for every toilet, every butt, and every budget. Go to myomigo.com/goodbye. That's myomigo.com/GOODBYE and take 15% off today.
This is why this is great for you guys. We have, again, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holidays coming up. Nobody wants to do anything. Everybody is going to be pretty much locked down again. again, or at least.
And there's a toilet paper shortage.
Yes.
This is perfect.
This is perfect.
Get your family members the ability to power wash their asshole. They will never want to leave their bathroom. So getting a airborne virus will not be an issue for them.
Now's the time.
It cures corona.
There you go. Yeah, you mix it with Clorox and it's good. So now's the time.
You shoot hydroxychloroquine just directly up your stink hole.
Get a bidet today. And now let's get back to our show now.
Hooray.
Thanksgiving's, I think, one of my favorite holidays, and it's weird because this Thanksgiving is going to be the first time ever in my life that I guess maybe not, that I'm not with like some sort of family. I think that's not even a little bit true. I realize Erica and I used to go. That's when we would travel abroad. That's when we would go to Europe.
I've never spent it with family, as a matter of fact.
It's been years.
This year is not breaking with tradition.
Yeah, but it's because this year we're gonna do. Erica wants to like make a mini Thanksgiving, but at home, which is just gonna be
that's nice.
It's gonna be amazing, but it's like. We're trying to figure it out because Erica's like the smallest turkey around in all the supermarkets here, so you can find is 8 pounds, and you're like, that's like
you'll have leftovers.
I mean, we're gonna. That's so many leftovers.
You could have some.
Jeed could definitely have some.
Jeed could have some, and your other puppy, Brendan, will certainly for a sandwich. Brendan will just pelican swallow.
I'll just throw it to him from the terrace. He's just down on the street. But so that's gonna be. But I just love. It's my favorite eating holiday of the year.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
such
number
a good
one.
And then
the New Year's used to be for me as well.
New Year's
is a really good one because it would be so diverse in what we would get and what we would cook. So my dad would he'd do pigs in a blanket. He'd also get. I was like,
God, I love pigs.
I don't know what my problem is, but when I was a kid, I ate myself out of two foods. I ate myself out of chocolate. I love chocolate so much. I shoved it so much in my face that I literally couldn't eat it for 7 years.
Wow.
I was just fucking out.
Yeah.
I did the same with shrimp.
Me too.
Shrimp cocktail.
Shrimp cocktail. I went overboard at a buffet one time.
I mean, that might, blow out your asshole or something.
We brought one to that house at Point Pleasant for New Year's Eve. Erica, and we've also, Erica and I gave that to you as a gift for the Conor McGregor birthday.
That's right.
And it was like we gave you a 50 count, and I think you ate 38 of them or something like that.
And they were covered in ice shavings. I didn't even wait. I was like, no, I'm back. I'm back on shrimp. I'm back on chocolate.
You're the most on shrimp of anyone I know.
I fucking love shrimp.
No one loves shrimp more than you that I'm
great.
aware of.
Thank God
cold
I don't
shrimp specifically.
Oh, cold shrimp specifically. I do. I mean, I like it in its variety of forms. I really, I like it a lot of New Orleans spice, a lot of Old Bay.
Yeah, I like it. I like it heated up. If I could have it, I like it on a salad, but I like it cooked.
Yeah, you like it dainty. Like across
cooked?
the grill. Yeah, cooked.
Yeah,
cooked
is that dainty?
Cooked on a salad? That's as dainty as shrimp gets.
What do you mean?
That's as light in the loafers as shrimp gets.
Why?
Because it's in other manlier sauces.
The other one, you're
otherwise.
like, ooh, I'm cold.
What?
The cold shrimp.
No, it's weathering winter. It's not cold.
It's weathering winter?
That's right.
It's dead.
It didn't do a good job, but it stayed outside and it died doing what it loved.
Just eating Jack Nicholson in the end of The Shining one by one. Just over and over again. Not waiting for it to defrost.
Yeah. But yeah, I've completely eaten myself out of shrimp. But I like the variety, and that's not to say I haven't had good Thanksgivings. Like I've had really great Thanksgivings.
Thanksgiving's great.
My dad's family is so fucking fat and great at cooking that it was just. I mean, whenever we went there, which was early on, and then something happened. You ever do that? Like in your childhood, where you're just like, wow, we were super close to that family member, and then I guess we just weren't. And we no longer talked to them, and there was just a brick of years where they were just completely out of the picture.
Dude, there's that. I'm that way, I guess, with certain parts of my family that are third and fourth aunts and cousins. There was a lot of drama.
Who has time for that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the things where they have drama and you're like, oh, but I don't care about that. That doesn't affect me for. Yeah. I don't really. There's no blood. You know what I mean?
Oh
it's it's sisters of cousins of aunts of.
You were like a no strings attached a friend.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you do the first thing that wrongs me, you're out.
I'm not sure your first name. You know.
Definitely not your last.
Yeah.
I thought it was mine. When I found out it wasn't, I just decided to give up. Yeah.
But I do remember there was some holidays I went to my like I guess second or third cousin's place, or where it's like a bunch of different families, and that's cool because there was a bunch of kids around my age, so we're all running around. It's just cool when you're in someone else's house and they just have a bunch of toys, and you're like, you got this video game, let's fucking play this, and then there's like 6 other kids of all various ages, and they're like, what do we do? And we're like, we don't care, and then we're doing our thing, and then we have fun with that for a little while, and then we leave, and like now like all of a sudden you're like, you have Nerf guns, you're fucking shooting, you have starting wars, and one kid always gets hurt.
It's like a rent-a-center for toys. Like you just go to somebody's home, play with their toys for the day, and it's basically yours.
Dude, yes, yeah,
So,
it feels good.
Yeah, and then you move on, and it's like, oh, I wish I had that, but my parents, whatever.
One of those parties, that's where I got like, this was like one of my first like pretty big head injuries. We were playing like, and I think I've told this on the podcast before, but we were playing 2-end touch like football outside, right? And it was me and like 3 of my other like second and third and fourth cousins or whatever. And one of the kids on the other team was so much younger than me. He was probably 4 or 5 years younger than me. So when we were playing, I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was like 13 or something. And I was waiting for my my teammate to go running. And as I go to throw it, he's holding on to me. Sorry, we were playing tackle. That's why. We weren't playing 2-end touch. We were playing tackle because we're like, these kids will never be able to tackle us. So he goes to tackle me. And remember literally being like, look at this. He's trying to tackle me. I had the ball just waiting to throw. And he was like, I'm open. I'm like, this kid, like, he can't do anything. And I'm just making fun of him. And then I take a step back, and there was a hole in the grass. And I turned my ankle backwards into the hole and just went whack against a fire hydrant. Like, just like a fucking, like, right here on the fire hydrant, just slammed down.
$1 million baby.
That fucking dude, yeah. And then the fucking nut that comes out the side of it, my cheek hit, and all that stuff. And when you get hit in the nose, and it's
and
like
all that dog piss.
Yeah. when you hit your nose, and you're like that thing where it's like numb crying kind of a thing. Well, that was like my whole face felt that way. And I like.
How old are you?
I think I was probably like, I think I had to be like 11 or 12 or something like
so
that.
Old enough to feel it.
Yeah. Like it definitely hurt. And I remember just like trying to get up, and then remember just like not everything I was looking through was red, because when you get a cut on your head, it was only like this big of a cut, but when you get it on your head, it just fucking gushes. So then the whole family goes like crazy and stuff like that, and they call the ambulance. And I had a huge thing. I don't know why, but I had this huge thing. Maybe The Sixth Sense or Unbreakable had just come out or something, and I was like, I'm never getting stitches, and I'm never breaking a bone. And so the ambulance came, and they were like, you need like some stitches. You need like 3 or 4 stitches in your head. And I just was like screaming and probably hysterically crying and refused to go in the back. And then they made it leave. I refused to go. Everyone in my family was like, just get in the fucking ambulance. And I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not getting stitches. And so they fucking put me up like a Civil War fife drummer, and I just walked around with that kind of thing.
I mean, you already know.
So that was one of the
fingers a woodwind.
Dude,
so 2 stories that are similar to that. One was when I was in kindergarten. I remember this like perfectly. I was I was legitimately, when I was a kid, just a ace prospect athlete. I was unbelievable, advanced beyond age. It was ridiculous, right? And I remember being in kindergarten, being able to throw a football further than everybody, playing catch with everyone, and also wanting to show off a lot because I could do this. So I probably came off extremely annoying as a child. But I remember this one time, this kid like pump faked a pass, then threw it. And this is like when I lived in Highland Falls. I went and I caught the ball, and it was one of those things where just when you turn, you hit a tree.
Yeah.
So I caught it, turned, and then smashed a tree in my face, and just like dropped down. And I was so stunned, I didn't cry.
Yeah.
I was just like,
you feel like your nose is broken.
Nose was broken. I was trying not to cry, so I was like just trying to speak really loud.
It's me with the fire hydrant. I'm going.
No, I'm fine, but it hurts. So I'm like half, catatonic. Nobody knows if I have a fucking concussion. Canatonic. Water. And then I get taken to the nurse. And I remember I was trying to sell her on a wrist injury. I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, no, my head's fine. My wrist is the culprit. She's like, cool, because you have a Tommy boy size fucking bruise.
You have bark in between your eyebrows.
The sap thing is sticking out of your forehead.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to sell her on that, and I think she was like, okay, and she wrapped my wrist in toilet paper.
No.
And then called my mom and told me to take me home. And I remember telling my mom, like, this wrist, I hope it doesn't act up for a long time. I got to play basketball. And I had one of those indoor little Tykes hoops. And I knew in my heart that my wrist didn't hurt. And I remember my mom being like, yeah, dude, your head, like, just please, like just hold ice to it. And like, I think she told me to take a nap, like, great advice. Yeah. Like, you're probably a little sleepy. Just take a nap, dude.
Yeah, you were vomiting earlier. Go to
deep
bed.
Into the world of death. And so I get home, and then instead of like sitting down with ice, I'm like playing basketball with my toilet paper wrist. And my mom was like, I have birthed. Just such a dud. just a true disappointment in every measure.
They're just like, thank God for Jessica and Chloe.
I know. Jesus. Can't even continue his own sham.
Yeah. I guess we should keep the sham going.
Sham God.
Sham wow.
Sham God.
Who?
Really good player. Ahead of his time.
Really?
Yeah, the only guy that a move is named after that played in the NBA.
What's it called?
The Sham God. You push it out. You're coming down the court with your right hand. You push it out in front of you. The defender bites. You quickly pull it back with your opposite hand, and that guy looks like he just got fucking cooked.
Wow.
Yeah, I did it to my son.
Right.
Dude, that's what I love doing is he's like just such a baby deer that I'm like just cooking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Tripping him. It's so fun. It's the best. I'm so happy. I'm in the best mood. I really am. I found a fucking parking spot right across from the studio.
Doesn't it feel great?
It feels amazing. I get it. I get why you believe in God. But it's like, I found parking. I walked into the Sonny and Cher or whatever the fuck, and and Christmas music was playing, and I found myself singing along to it.
Yeah.
It was just a great day.
Almost like all these great reviews that we have.
It's
5-star
exactly like
reviews. Leave them on iTunes. Helps. We're in the back. We've over 200 episodes now.
Stop saying back 9. Are we done at 400? Is that it?
I assume we'll both be dead long before that. But
yeah, what's that, 2 more years?
2.5, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Just trying to...
Oh, wait, it's less than 2, actually.
Is it?
Slightly less than 2, because it'd be 100
Alex,
episodes.
count on your fingers and let us know.
Isn't it about 4 years? Because it's about 50 episodes per year.
Oh, yeah, it's 50 episodes. 50,
right.
But we're doing 52, right? So
My math is on point.
That's true.
Today.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
Wow. Would you get the vaccine early?
I did. Could you tell?
Did you get that autism joke for Alex? She said, my math is on point. So I said, would you get the vaccine
I thought
early?
you were... See, now that was me responding
I just
to
wanted
your...
to run it back on how layered and brilliant that was.
See, now I was responding to it thinking you were referring to me having autism for not being able to do it.
No, autistic people are highly gifted.
Not every single one. That's
Everyone.
a harmful stereotype that you're putting.
That's a
way
harmful
too much
stereotype
pressure on
that
them.
might lead to people treating them like people.
No, not if everyone you encounter. That's like the people who's like sees every Chinese person and they're like, "Hey, I got this math problem. If you could help me out."
Go find one you can't.
What do you mean?
I mean.
So leave a review, and I guess please don't mention that. And so, if you want to support the show in other ways, you can sign up for a Gas Digital Network subscription using the code IGP. You get a 2-week free trial, and you get access to all of our shows. Like I said, over 200. We're on episode 204 right now, I believe. And this, we only have the most 15 available. So if you want to go back, we're on 203. That's not math, Alex. Don't fucking be proud of yourself.
Those are numbers.
She smirked into her keyboard.
Look at me.
And so
Universal language.
Yeah, 15 episodes are free on iTunes, so go check out all of them. Then you get all our bonus content that we have up there. You also get access to all the other shows on the network, all their bonus content. It also gives you a discount to podcastmerch.com. You get a discount to all the t-shirts and hoodies. And guess what, guys? Like we mentioned last week, this is the final day to get your limited edition IGP holiday podcast merch.
That's right.
We have beanies. We have hats, flat brim and the dad hats. We have the snapbacks. We also have these awesome hoodies with, again, Mike and I's picture on it.
Yes.
We're
Two dudes
in prom
embracing.
pose. It's a season's greeting card. You can wear it. It's a nice Christmas gift. It comes in 3 different colors. Buy it for a friend. Do it today. Again, this is the last day. If you're listening on Monday the 30th, this is the last day that it's going to even be available, and then it's gone forever. Get them now.
Well, it's kind of a perfect sweatshirt because it shows you're obviously a fan of ours, but it doesn't say IGP, so it also makes you look progressive and full of support. So you might get some like fist bumps.
Yeah, people are like,
nobody wants to be touched.
But it's kind of a fun thing because you can play to both sides, like we like to do so much. You have Christmas, so you're like for the conservative people or whatever, and then you have gays, and then for the liberal side.
We should have done Hanukkah and Kwanzaa versions as well.
Oh yeah, a Diwali one.
Yeah.
We missed that. Well, whatever. But also, you guys, if you're already on the internet, you should check out our other podcast that we have called What's the Scenario? Patreon.com/scenariopod. Mike, Brendan, and myself, we do a hypothetical-based podcast. Most interactive podcast on Patreon. We're just saying it flagrantly.
I think on the internet.
On the internet. Fuck it. Anywhere. You guys, we build the whole show around your suggestions. So, check that out if you want to, as low as $5 a month. And also, come see us at shows. Who knows when those will necessarily be? But I'll tell you this. I have, if you go to MikeFeeneyComedy.com, I have a date now. This is the 30th has passed. So my next date for sure is going to be at Comics Roadhouse in January. So I'm pretty much just going to be doing local and fill-in stuff until there. So come to get tickets. I'll be bringing Brendan the Sneaky Raccoon along with me. Again, Comics Roadhouse, January 7th through the 9th. You can get tickets now. I think they're right now only at 25% occupancy or something. Yeah. They got knocked down, so it's going to be a smaller crowd.
Intimate.
So get tickets early before that. But who knows? The regulations.
Might be a while before we get to do it again.
Yeah, it's brutal. So what we're doing in the meantime, the way you can support us is just following us on social media. Follow me on my YouTube channel, Mike Feeney Comedy, Mike Cannon Comedy, Irish Goodbye Podcast on YouTube. Share that 200th episode around of the Power Hour. Share the YouTube
It's doing
link.
well. People are loving it. So be sure to, it's a good holiday game, too. If you're shit-faced around your relatives and you have nothing to talk about, put on a Power Hour and listen to us tell, some pretty wild stories.
Yeah, great. It was such a great app. And I put out weekly sketches every single week. I am Mike Feeney on social media and youtube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy.
Somebody slow-mo his face when he just did that. Did you see that, Alex? If there's a way...
Camera was on you.
No, it wasn't. It was directly on your face. But I just know what it's going to look like in slow-mo. It's like the fucking dog cartoon in The Mask when he sees Cameron Diaz for the first time.
Yeah. And that's it. Thank you guys for the support and for sharing the videos and all that other stuff. And we love you.
That's right. We do love you. Alex, where are you going to be?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar, and check out my podcast, Broad Topics, TOPIX, with Kim Congdon, right here on gasdigitalnetwork.com/live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. And you can catch it for free on iTunes and YouTube every Monday.
Hot damn.
That's a big Thursday for us.
Yeah.
Our show, then High Society, then Broad Topics.
Alex, you said you're doing 6 shows today or 5?
I was going to do 5, but I'm doing 4 now.
Oh, who'd you kick off?
High Society Radio.
Who'd you pawn that off on?
No, we're going to record it on Sunday instead.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. This is the first time she's shown any sort of preferential treatment towards us, and a huge slam to High Society Radio. But that's
a big one. Well, Alex sees the writing on the wall. She sees where the numbers are going, and she's just starting to hitch herself to our wagon.
Yeah.
Finally. We're new friends as of 2 weeks ago.
Suddenly, Alex is retweeting us.
Yeah. And she's like, guys, I'm so proud of this show I produce.
Yeah.
First mention of it on her social media.
Yeah. She's added us to her bio.
Did you?
No, of course not.
No, but she did add
but-
herself to the bio of the Irish Goodbye
It
Instagram
was
page.
an accident.
Yeah.
Okay, it asked me to confirm our information, and I accidentally put my phone number out
Oh,
to
and
the
you said
public.
this is the Alex. This is
Wanted
the Alex
that?
Scarlato band.
Yeah. You go to think it says Alex Scarlato underneath it in faint gray letters. Irish Goodbye Podcast. And you're welcome to Alex's page. So, guys, we always ask people if you got a story to send it in. That way, in case COVID happens and we have a light week, we can always fill that in with this, which is what we've been doing recently. So, again, you can always send us your stories, irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com, or just message us on our Instagram. And so we got one here, and I think we should read it. Now, here's the problem. We never proofread these ahead of
Right.
time. So that's a disclaimer in case we Ron Burgundy and just read something horrific.
Yeah, I mean, if I get in the flow of a sentence and there's just a giant N-bomb that I don't see ahead of time, if it rolls off my tongue, just know I'm out of practice.
Bridge out, and you're like, no, the brakes are cut. So here's what I hate about this right off the bat. I just want to say it's beautiful. First off, they lead with "Hey Alex," so already whoops and angry.
But do you know what they did? Hey, Alex, Cannon, and Feeney.
Alphabetical order?
so we can't be mad.
Okay, well, I still can and am, but I
Yeah, it should be Hey, Cannon, and Feeney.
hey Cannon and Feeney. That's what
First
it's
line, and then
Also, they did-
right, say Alex, say hi to Alex.
They used my first name and not your first name. So if they'd gone with my last name, like yours,
You
I
would
would
have been last.
Yeah.
Wow. Or even Cannon Feeney and producer Alex, P. So, but there's a first sentence here. There's first two sentences, and then there's a new paragraph. Love when people break it up with paragraphs. And then the next paragraph is 47 lines long. I mean, what are we doing here? Can we format this just, guys? If you're going to send,
like it.
this is a
That's
novella.
one topic.
Let's do it. Yeah, but it can be separated. So, hey, Cannon, Alex, or Alex, Cannon, and Feeney. I'm going to read it the right way. Hey, Cannon, Feeney, and also Alex, I guess.
The last time I shared the story where I took the wrong kid home from daycare. Happy to say that hasn't happened again.
Okay.
Good on you, buddy.
This was before we were parents. My wife wanted to go to the beach. We packed the car and headed out to Long Island.
She picked the area on the beach, right by a lifeguard. Of course, I made a joke about her wanting to set up near a good-looking lifeguard. Good bit, pal.
At one point, in the day, she went into the water and I stayed on the blanket. I look up to see she is kind of far out.
She waves. I wave back. When I look again, she is waving both arms at me.
I wave both arms back, as you should.
Hey, looking good, sweetie.
Yeah. Then she starts jumping up and down.
What a goofball. I start pretending to drown, going along with her joke. It's great to be in a relationship where we can joke together.
I go back to doing whatever I was doing. That is when the lifeguard jumps off of his tower and starts running towards the water.
I, now interested, look to see what poor soul he's rescuing. It's my wife.
He's going to save my wife. He emerges from the water holding my wife, looking like a young Hasselhoff.
Now I feel like an idiot. He carries her to our blanket and lets her down. Oh my God, I want to fuck this dude.
Panicking, I say, wow, all that just to get his attention?
Anyway, she, nor us, laughed. I'm just busting your chops, buddy. That was a good one.
That is a good nervous line to say. It'd be like, that's when you'd cut to a commercial.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious that you said that to her, and she's just, she was shaken up, and we went home.
I thought she was joking around, and she almost died.
Whatever. She went on to have a kid with me. Have a good one. That was pre-kid.
Yeah. So
Okay.
she chose afterwards
Right.
to procreate with him.
That's what's always interesting. This woman and then Ray Rice's fiance decided to go through something horrific and decided, oh, you know what? I'm gonna attach myself legally to this person.
Maybe they couldn't separate themselves from the trauma.
Wow. Psychiatrist Feeney, huh?
We'll be right back.
I wish we were anywhere close to the end, 'cause
No.
that would have been a
We have
great.
so much time.
But boy, do we have a lot of time to vamp.
Yeah.
No, what I will say, I was going to talk about this before when we were on. Do you have more to say about this story, Alex?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I feel like I cut you off. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
Alex never even thought about talking.
Oh, I heard her go. So for the head smashing shit, I have 2 more stories for that.
What?
Yeah, 2 more. Is you splitting your head open reminded me, and I think I may have talked about this on the podcast, but my neighbor growing up when I lived in Fort Montgomery, they had 2 boys. Both of them were a little bit older than me. One was like 2 years older than me. One was 1 year older than me. The younger one was like a tiny tot, and he looked like a Children of the Corn type character. Like he had the straight
the
bangs
bowl
and
cut
that
white,
whole and he used to chase us with shards of broken glass and like gardening spades and stuff like that. And we all kind of were terrified but laughed about it.
Yeah.
And this one time I was 4 years old and I was playing at their house with my older sister, with his brother, and with Satan. And I'm on a loose piece of board on rocks. Like their side of the house was kind of like packed with rocks. They were maybe building a rock wall or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm on a board and I'm kind of like surfing on it. And Sybil gets behind me and just fucking shoves me off the board. And I land... No arms forward, face on a rock.
Oh my
Literally
God.
Smash, no brace for impact, head, point, hole in my head, rock, right? And I'm just like bleeding, 4 years old, not even screaming, like just kind of like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I like how long it takes for your body to know it's in an emergency situation.
It's always a while. And I'm always scanning things, not believing what my body's telling me. I'm like, you lie.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. So I have a hole in my head. I'm gushing blood. I'm perturbed at the whole thing.
Yeah.
My sister runs me to the door. The neighbor, her name was Joan. My mother and her had like so many fucking conflicts growing up. It was hilarious. But this woman like just saw me, put like squirted Neosporin on my face, and then put a piece of paper towel in my hand for me to press against my head and sent me home. Sent me to walk home at 4 years old with a fucking hole in my head from her satanic son.
And then when you take it off and then it's like already healing to the paper towel, so it
you're part
rips it
paper
open,
towel.
and then it rips open again.
It's bio towel.
Yeah.
You just tear it directly off a fresh wound.
That actually reminds me of something that happened. I had one of those kids too that lived on our like block or in our area. He was just in like this crazy household, 3 brothers, always like. They were the ones, thank God, I had like a long not looping, but like a long block that made this giant bow. And so they were way on the other side of the block that 40 houses down or something. But that would be like a nightmare to live near them. They were kind of like the white trash family of that, like blah. Like there were 2 major three actually major white trash families on the block. One of which was on like their family was on like Nanny 911 because it was just like the kids are just like punching holes in the walls, being like fuck you, like just like it's just like that lived like across the street from my best friend's growing up house. Yeah, it was like crazy. It was crazy. It was a lot of just like. And then they all
owned mopeds.
Yeah, dude. It was like,
I feel like moped is the white trash transportation choice.
Like, yeah, but like the little...
not the scooter, not a Vespa. Like moped that looks like
a little
it's
dirt
a motorized bike.
Yeah. Yeah, so those kids were a nightmare, and then there was other like white trash ones that had like, a car on their front lawn forever, but then these were kind of like just... the destructive, when from a young age that you're like, that kid's going to be into drugs,
yes.
Like it's just one of those kinds of a thing. And he later was, but so whatever. So we were filming during, and I found this I have the footage of it. I found this on when I got all that stuff digitized, right? And there was this one time we had this ramp, one of those little shitty ramps. And I think we've talked about this on What's the Scenario, but just those stupid plastic ramps that they used to have for bikes, but they were made of the cheapest, thinnest plastic. So as you would go over them, they would move with you. So like you never got a secure thing off. And we were filming all these Jackass stuff, and one of the stunts was going to be the guys in like those little wagons like those, and then we were going to run almost like a shopping cart and like run and push them up the ramp, and hijinks would ensue and
and bones would break.
Yeah, so the goal to the kids were push us as fast as you can, we'll rock it off, we'll probably fucking land and bounce and it'll look cool. And our thing was like, cool, but also once they went up the ramp and off to it, I can clearly see from holding the camera, like, threw something in the middle of it for them to hit mid-trajectory, and they went flying off and got, like, so angry, and I think it flipped upside down, and the kid left, and he came back with a hammer, and he threw the hammer, and you see it like he threw it way too early, but the hammer comes towards, it lands probably 10 feet short of the camera, but it's like ricocheting off the grass and everything, and he was like scream crying, and be like, like that.
Yeah.
And just filming the whole thing, and people going like, what the hell?
You
what
found
the
that?
hell? Yeah.
Wow, available now. Patreon.com/scenario.
I think the kid said something like, what the hell? And you can hear me just go, what?
You have to put that up.
Yeah, I gotta.
Let's exploit that kid.
Yeah. I don't know if we can, because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that he is no longer with us.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's all the more
Yeah.
reason you should put it up. There's zero reputation to tarnish.
It's true, I guess.
Yeah.
But his brothers, I would feel bad, I guess.
Nah,
Maybe I'll
it's
blur
fine.
his face out or something.
No. You have to. First of all, it's behind a paywall. If you want it, you gotta pay for it.
Actually, I don't know if he's. I don't know. I think there was 3 brothers, and I think only one is still around.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been an uphill battle for that family for some time.
What are they, Bobby Brown's kids?
So, I mean,
I wanted to tell you one more story about getting hit in the head.
and waiting, and then I can't wait till you get to the point of the story, you go, so after I impact, and I'm sitting there like, what? Not even crying.
Oh, I just bit. This one is a funny one. So I remember, I forget what year it was, but I'm pretty sure it was during my. I was trying out for like West Point Little League or something like that. So I must have been 8, because I remember being like really good at, or maybe even 6. I was really good at baseball at that point, but it was a big fucking. What is it called? Tryout in their field house. So it was awesome to see, because it's West Point, you know what I mean? And I was like also kind of a funny kid, but I don't think this one particular incident, I don't think the adults saw it coming. So this was like probably the first year they were throwing to us, or the second year, whatever. And I was just like, crushing the ball. I was doing really well. And then one time the coach, they're lobbing, he throws it and it hits me in the head. And like, as a joke, I like spun around and fell down. like it knocked me unconscious.
Yeah.
And every coach just ran over to me immediately. And we're like, oh my God, like flip me over. Are you all right? And I'm like laughing. And they're like, are you okay? It took my mom to come down and explain to them that I was funny. For them to let me continue the try. I'm like, actually, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, you're like,
They're like, we smell shit.
Yeah.
Did you shit yourself? I'm like, I commit to the bit.
yeah.
That's when you wanna make your Irish goodbye.